So when I think about Sue Johnson, it really brings me back several decades. Sue was one of the creative and original therapists who began drilling down to what is it that a lot of different kinds of therapists do that's really effective. She began focusing on emotion as a basic element requiring attention in therapy before a lot of other people did. Now it's very popular.
She was this kid from the Midlands in England. She grew up in a pub. Her father owned a pub. And so she had seen every kind of human interaction possible. She really brought into this field of couples therapy, which was very behavioral and cognitive, really brought emotion into it. And she succeeded in really showing that emotional interaction itself needed to be the substance of couples therapy.
I was trained actually to stay away from emotion, right? Emotion was dangerous. It needed to be managed. It needed to be controlled. Whereas Sue wanted us to go to the heart of the matter, right? She wanted us to talk to people about how they felt inside. And that was hugely different from what I was used to. And I was really used to, really thinking about my clients rather than feeling into their experience. And that was another big shift.
She spoke about emotion when no one else was. I am naturally quite emotional, thought I wasn't supposed to be, and that wasn't okay. So I was so happy to hear her message and to tune into the therapeutic model she was developing. We were therapists in some of those very first studies, and we would tape every single session, and we would debrief, and we would share, and it was so exciting to be a part of that world at that time. It was amazing.
She really has a high standard for demonstrating effectiveness and bringing data into the whole conversation, so that she relies on the scientific findings of her work to give people advice. So she's really helping to build a science of love. And I think that's a really, really important thing that all of us are trying to work together to do.
When I first started doing my research, looking at the role of supportive touch, for example, on the way that the brain processes threat information, a lot of people don't realize that I didn't know anything about attachment theory. I didn't come to it from that place. I came to it from a different place. And right away, John Gottman realized that I should be talking to Sue Johnson. So John introduced the two of us. We had a phone call, just blind date kind of phone call, and immediately became close friends. 5 minutes, I think, and we were close friends. And what Sue has done for me since then is to help me understand my own data. To work with a mind like Sue's, to look at my data, look at my results, and place them in a frame that makes them useful. She knows what they mean for people and for people that she works with. It's been a mind-blowing experience, a very growing experience for me.
The first time I met Sue, I was totally intimidated. She was this, kind of red-haired firebrand with a fierce intelligence. The fact that Sue was one of the earliest pioneers in couples therapy and a researcher, a scientist, meant, of course, that she encountered a very sexist world. And she had to fight hard against some of the academic policies and so on around her and the stratification, shall we say, that existed in academia and particularly tried to keep women down. She fought hard against that, and she transcended that.
So when I think about what people really need to know about Sue Johnson, is her tenacity and her determination. And she never gives up. When I would be like, oh my gosh, Sue, like, let's get out of this. There'd be conflicts in the hospital, or there'd be something, that seemed to me that the best strategy was to run. She would run into the fire, and she would, fight the fight.
I was very impressed with her ability to communicate some of these concepts to large numbers of people. She definitely has a magnetic personality. She has some charisma to her. She's a very engaging personality. People like to listen to her speak. And I think this is a trait that has been useful in any field, but it's been extraordinarily useful in our field, and I admire her for it.
She has begun to make it her mission to teach the world about the science of love. And yet, while she's reaching for those kinds of heights, she continues to expand EFT into the nooks and crannies of psychological and clinical intervention. It's an extraordinary body of work, and it just grows and grows and grows.
Sue's not out there for fame. She's not out there for fame. She's not out there for the money. She's really out there to do good, period. That's what she wants. She wants to bring to these clinicians clamoring for help methods that have very scientifically been proven, been shown to be effective, and she'll exhaust herself to do it. And celebrity or no celebrity, that's irrelevant to her. She simply wants to give clinicians help and support the way she'll do with her own couples as well when she sees them.
And all with a great sense of humor.
One of the things that I would love the world to know is that I consider her one of my close friends. And that manifests throughout all that we've done, working together on papers, working together on designing studies, talking about the meaning of the interventions that she does or the meaning of my data sets. She still wants to know how I'm feeling. She wants to know how are things going with my family and me. And it's mutual.
Sue's brilliant, amazing. She's generous beyond belief, and she's so strong and so caring and supportive and validating. Everything that she teaches us around Rogerian reflections, and she lives. So yeah, she is an inspiration to me, a dear friend and colleague, and yeah, I'm grateful to know her and to have been and continue to be so impacted by her person and by her work.
She's just a superb thinker, a great human being, and a wonderful, wonderful friend, and a great therapist. So we have tremendous admiration for Sue.